In this video, we look at Unifi InnerSpace, which is now part of the Unifi OS. So this is Unifi InnerSpace, and this is sort of what it ends up looking like. But in this video, I'm going to go through and explain how it all works. Now, this came out, I got the release notes here a couple of weeks ago from time of recording, and it's you need Unifi OS 3.2 or higher, as well as a Dream Machine or SE. I'm running it on Dream Machine SE in order to use this new application. What it really is, as far as I can tell, is that this is a sort of part of Unifi Design Center. So if you're not familiar with that, I have that open here as well. Unifi Design Center, I did a video on that quite a while ago. So if you watch that, you get an idea what it is, but the interface has changed somewhat. But the Unifi Design Center is meant for you to plan a network and cameras, etc. So that in here, say you can put in a floor plan and you can draw your walls, etc., which I've done, and then you can place devices. So you can go in here and say all of these various devices, I want to place those on that floor plan, and you can plan how you might want to set it up to some extent. I mean, it's not going to be 100% real life, obviously, it's just an image, but it'll give you an idea of where the coverage might be, what kind of cabling you might need, what devices, you can swap devices in and out to see what coverage makes it better, all that sort of thing. So if you have that in mind, the Unifi InnerSpace is a way to show what you have now, currently. All right, so let me show you how it works. So we're going to get back to this. This is a finished version, but we're going to create a new floor plan. So you need a floor plan. So we're going to call this one Merlewood YouTube, because I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm going to skip to the one I already did, but I'll show you how to set it all up. And then I'm going to upload a floor plan. Like so. So that's one I've created earlier. I've used a 3D floor planning tool online. So Unifi doesn't provide that, but if you have floor plans, you can upload those or you can create your own. I created my own by measuring every single wall in the house. Anyway, so you have your floor plan, you confirm that, you upload that, and here is the floor plan. So the first two things you need to do is set your ceiling height. That's a little bit tricky because it has to be for the whole floor plan. You can't have various ceiling heights, but overall I'm about 3 meters. Some are lower, some are higher. It's an old house, there's lots of new added to it, extensions added to it. And if you want to use feet, that will be a different number. And then you save that. You put the floor plan scale. This is really important because that shows you sort of the length, the length of the coverage of certain units and the cameras, etc. So you set your floor plan scale, and you do that by clicking on here. So I just zoom in to where I know there's a proper measurement, and I'm going to go from there to there and say, well, that's 4.74 meters because that's what the thing says. And you save that, and that's it. So now I'm ready to draw walls. So I wish there was some sort of AI that might come. Who knows? There might be an AI thing that's coming that will recognize walls, but not for now. So the first thing I usually do is draw the rooms, and then you got to choose your material, and that's based on obviously what Wi-Fi can go through. So it's measured in decibels, approximately 12 to 20 for concrete, 3 to 6.5 for drywall, and 2.5 to 7 for glass. Now I have kind of drywall, or plasterboard as we call it in Australia, and there's a lot of wood on the outside. So I'm sort of not really any of these, but I just use drywall. That's the best approximation. It's certainly not concrete. And then I first draw rooms, which means you draw squares or rectangles. So I click there, room, drywall, and then we click up here in the corner, and then you click on the other corner like that. So click, click, and it draws squares. And it's handy for most things because, for me, everything is built of the same material, basically. So I can sort of just do this, and then I can do these, etc. And you get the idea. Like I'm drawing lots and lots of rectangles. And then when I get to a point where I need just the wall, like for example from here, then I just choose the wall part of it, right? So just not the room measurement. And you right click to get rid of that so you don't keep drawing. And you do that for all of it. You choose somewhere that's glass. For example, the glass is from here to here, actually, oops, and then you right click again to get out of that drawing mode, and then you can click on these, then change the wall type. And this takes quite a while, but it's important because obviously glass wall, drywall, concrete has various properties that are not the same. You do that for your whole place, and then on the right here are all of the devices that I have currently. So this is the difference from the design center. The design center, you can choose anything and you plan it and you say, well, I want that kind of access point here, that kind of access point here. In InnerSpace, you can only choose what you already have in your system. So you're sort of mapping out your current coverage, not what you would like it to be in the future. So in here, for example, I have, Jordan's room. So we got to go to Jordan. Where is Jordan? Oh, I know why. So because I've already created a floor plan, I can't place the same unit twice. So I've already placed all the ones in the house. All of these are not in this house. All of these are somewhere else on the property, in my office and the other residents. So yeah, but you place them. So let me go back to and let me show you the one I've already done. All right. So I'm going to go back here to Melwood. So here is the one I prepared earlier. Let me just take this off here. There we go. So I have now, you can see here, drawn all of the various lines. So there's some here that are glass, some are plasterboard, etc., etc. And then I have placed all of the devices. So for example, the bedroom device here. So I think if I click on that, no, we don't get the coverage yet. That's okay. You can see that's the bedroom access point. So I've dragged that over from here. So if I say I wanted that access point here, I can drag that in there, and then that will then live there. So instead, I'm just gonna take it back, click on it, and that's the way you do it. So I've placed all my devices. In my case, these are now access points and cameras. I could also put floodlights, but they're on the office. I could put my Unifi access and LEDs. They're also in the office. I might do that later. I might go up and measure the office while I'm in it now. My LED panels are right above me here. There's an access point right out there, etc. But I haven't done that. I haven't done that floor plan yet. I just have the house, which took long enough. But I can also put Unifi access for door openers, etc. So everything is here that I have in my network currently. All right, so the cool thing you can do here, whoops, if I just zoom out a little bit, is that I can then go in here and say, oh, on hover. So right now I'm showing 6 gigahertz and I'm showing the name. I'm not showing the model. You can put the model label on as well. You can see that goes on and off. I don't really need that right now, but you can. So right now I'm showing 6 gigahertz, which is why when I hovered over this Unifi Nano HD, it doesn't have 6 gigahertz. The only access point I have is the one in the kitchen. So if I hover over that, you can see there is the 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi coverage. Neat. So this is based on your walls and etc. You can see that I have decent, that's why I placed it in the kitchen. So I have decent 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi coverage from that access point. Now let's just change that to say 5. And you can see now that start to actually show for the other ones, the other access points here. And if you don't want to do it on the hover, so this is just showing where one is covering. If you want the entire coverage, you go up here and you choose Wi-Fi coverage, and that's where you get that big map. So I have almost 5 gigahertz, perfect 5 gigahertz in the whole house, which has always been the aim, and that's lovely. So I don't need any more access points in the house. Well, need is a strong word. Anyway, I can also change it to 2.4, and obviously it all goes green because the coverage is much longer. And goes through more things. And then I can do the same with the camera coverage here. So you can see currently I have no cameras at the back of the house. This is where the paddocks are and the llamas, guard llamas are around here. So, it's fine. But you can see out here I've placed one. The carport is here, which I haven't actually drawn on. So there's a couple of cameras that sit on the carport, and there's an access point there that also sits on the carport. Which I've done videos on as well in the past. You can watch those too. But that is the camera coverage and direction. So you can change the direction of all these. I can move that by holding down the mouse button, and I can sort of show, it's about there. The angle on those is sort of okay. It's not 100% accurate. Like this is the G4 Pro, and it does have a wider angle. than the G3 Flex, but it's sort of, you know, yeah, it is wider here, but I don't know about the range. Maybe that's based on how much you can zoom in, I'm not sure. But it's pretty good. It's an approximation, right? So that's what InnerSpace is. It's the old way of having maps. If you used Unifi OS a while back, there were maps, and you can do the same with a satellite image. You can place your devices on that satellite image, but it never gave you a really good idea of the coverage because you couldn't draw walls on it. Right, that was always in Design Center. So they just kind of combined the current status of Design Center with your devices you have now with the old maps. So it's sort of a good in between. I quite like it. It's really easy to set up. It's a little bit tedious drawing all these walls, but you know, it's not difficult. And then you put all your devices on there, and then you have coverage maps. That's what it's for. That's what InnerSpace is. So that was a short video this time because this is just a little useful tool that's now part of our Unifi OS from 3.2 version and onwards. But yeah, if you liked it, consider subscribing, and any questions, let me know down in the comments below. What are you using it in a different way than I am? Then I'd love to know. But other than that, yeah, I've got a really cool video for the next. It involves hopefully kangaroos and wombats and stuff, but we'll get to that next time. For now, thank you for watching. See you then. Bye.